What's up, everybody? So, in the spirit of trying something new, let's go over some reviews of some amazing spooky season films. I'm trying to get into the atmosphere and the environment of the holiday Halloween season, specifically right now where we are in October. And I'm super excited today because I'm going to be discussing Young Frankenstein, coming from the brilliant mind of Gene Wilder and his creative partner Mel Brooks, at least on this film. I absolutely love this film. It was shown to me probably 5 years ago by my wife Emily, and I'm super excited because this film is absolutely iconic. I recently just went and saw it in theaters. Fathom Events re-released it, so it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about, and I want the younger generation to be able to find this film because, like I said, it's so iconic and it's mesmerizing, and the comedy is just so slapstick and dry that I think it needs to get carried on generations and generations beyond us. So that's why I want to talk about it today. And Young Frankenstein, is it worth it? So let's dive into it. So I wanted to head over to IMDb first so y'all can get like the official synopsis of what this film is actually about. Young Frankenstein was released in 1974, and believe it or not, it's PG and definitely would not be in today's standards, that's for sure. But the official synopsis is an American grandson of the infamous scientist Victor Frankenstein, struggling to prove that his grandfather was not as insane as people believe, is invited to Transylvania, where he discovers the process and reanimates a dead body, and leaning more into his family values, even if that means bringing the dead back to life.
It's coming from the deep, dark recesses of the mind of Mel Brooks. I love him. Young Frankenstein!
Life, you hear me? Give my creation life!
Sky means business.
Starring Gene Wilder as Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein.
Peter Boyle as the monster.
Wow!
Marty Feldman as Igor.
My grandfather used to work for your grandfather.
I'm sure we'll get along splendidly. Oh!
Cloris Leachman as Frau Blucher. And Madeline Kahn as Elizabeth.
What are you going to do to me? I'm not afraid of you.
Kill the monster!
See Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein.
Yes, I think we could all use a good laugh.
But don't see it alone. Don't miss Young Frankenstein, personally directed by Mel Blazing Saddles Brooks, in black and white. No offense.
As you saw the trailer, some iconic names in that cast, right? Peter Boyle, you best known him for the dad, Frank, in Everybody Loves Raymond, an iconic character. So as you see, it's kind of wild, right? I mean, there is some iconic people that were in this film. Obviously, Gene Wilder, best known probably from his roles in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Blazing Saddles and Hear No Evil, See No Evil, or See No Evil, Hear No Evil, either or. But yes, it's one of those films that is very slapstick. It did come from the brilliant mind of Gene Wilder. He was reading the actual Frankenstein book that, you know, inspired so many different things. And it's kind of amazing to see what he came up with in the scope of trying to reinvent the story in a way to make it more comedy rather than more horror and drama. So yeah, I thought that was a beautiful thing. Very fun, very original, in my opinion. Now, before I start this one, this is my favorite part of the entire film. It's so funny, it's so goofy, so I hope y'all enjoy it.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes, or cutaway coat, perfect fits. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Come, let's mix where Rockefellers walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst.
All right. So the entire film is basically built off of one-liners, which is super iconic. You have, like I said, the iconic Frankenstein story turned into a different novelty comedy type of realm film, which is an amazing thing because not a lot of people do that type of filmmaking anymore. A lot of franchises, a lot of IP that's out there right now that nothing like this, nothing like this. They're actually trying to redo Young Frankenstein. I don't want to say it's a reboot. It's kind of like a continuation. I think it's a television show, but it's still coming from Mel Brooks. Zach Galifianakis is attached to be in this thing. I don't necessarily know the role, but yeah, I think it's I want it to be good. I really do, but it's kind of bad in my opinion because like what the heck? Gene Wilder's passed away. Mel Brooks is still here, of course. When it comes from Gene Wilder, who is no longer with us, I do feel like you have to have the respect and not go forward with it because he hasn't been able to put his blessing on it and will never be able to. Now, there is a particular scene in this film that really did not age well. You know, comedy was different back then. Things were, I guess, more lax, not as appropriate as some things are now. But I mean, this is kind of like a joking about consent, non-consent. And I don't think you can pass with that today, even when you're doing it in a comedic form. I'm not going to show the entire clip, but I'll give you a gist of what it is.
Where am I? Who are you? What are you? What do you want? What are you going to do to me? Calm down. I'm not afraid of you. How much do you want to let me go? My father is very rich. You could have the entire world at your fingertips. Listen, I have to be back by 11:30. I'm expecting a very important call. Speak! Speak! Why don't you speak? What are you doing? Oh, you can't be serious. I... Oh, my God. Woof. I'm engaged, and
Okay.
but I didn't...
So you see what I mean? Like the entire film, they kind of make fun and poke fun at Frankenstein's member, if you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, yeah, take that for what you will. The comedy was completely different. I don't think you can pass for that nowadays because that is considered assault. You know, it's one of those things that will never fly in today and age when it comes to filmmaking. Now, here are some of my gripes about the film. I believe it's an hour and 46 minutes. I believe that's what we saw on IMDb earlier. It starts, and I definitely rack that up to the filmmaking of the time. It's one of those things where a lot of stuff wasn't as exciting and fast paced as what it is now. So you kind of have to take the baby steps to set up the storyline to where it implements different things throughout the entire story. And I think that's what they were doing in this film. Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder did write it together. So I do think that is the only thing holding it back, in my opinion. But other than that, I really enjoyed this film. I love this film. It's one of those that we try to watch every single year. My Letterboxd stars, I would probably give it like a 4 out of 5. You know, I can't give it the entire 5 because of the pacing issue and because of that scene. That scene still kind of makes me uncomfortable. It's not one of those things that I enjoy watching. Honestly, if I had the choice, I would probably skip through it every single time that I watch it. But overall, it's a great film. And when we're talking about showing it to the younger audiences, that is another scene that I would definitely skip through. There's only one or two of those that is very, you know, invested into the sexual innuendo. There is sexual humor throughout, but like I said, when you're showing it to the younger generations, I do believe that would go right over their head. But like as far as like scenes that pertain to sex, there are two of them. So yeah, I would definitely skip through those when you're showing it to the younger generations. The earliest I would probably show this to my future children would be 10 or 11, you know, around that age of puberty, you know, just to kind of like get them into the comedy realm. And I mean, films like this, films of the older generations, they definitely do need to continue being shared because I feel like once a certain generation passes on, like that's it. I mean, you know, you're gonna have your film bros, you're gonna have your film buffs, but a lot of people in the mass population are not going to know about Young Frankenstein. And I definitely feel like it's one of those that should be passed on. But yes, overall, I give this film a 4 out of 5. It is definitely worth it, in my opinion. So be sure to check it out, especially in a theater if you can. It was so awesome to see. And a little fun fact, if you did not know, from the original Frankenstein movie, which I believe was released in like the late 30s, the laboratory set from the original Frankenstein movie was actually in this film, Young Frankenstein, which was like 30 plus years later, which is absolutely crazy because I believe the original set designer who was on the Frankenstein film just had it in his garage. And when he heard that they were making Young Frankenstein, he called up one of the producers or Mel and was like, hey, y'all want to use this? I have it in my garage. It's all disassembled, but I mean, feel free. So he did get a special thanks in the credits for that. But that is my review and fun time of Young Frankenstein. Definitely worth it. Like I said, be sure to check it out on streamers or if you can in a theater. Like I said, this is something new and I'm just trying stuff out to see what works. Throw things at the wall and see what sticks, that's for sure. Everybody have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the spooky season. Let me know if there's any other films I should watch and dive into when it comes to reviews. As always, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like, and ring the bell for all the latest and greatest notifications coming out of Crazy Ant Media. Watch our other videos. We have 2 podcasts, Everything's Okay, our mental health podcast, and ItCap podcast, our entertainment-based news podcast that we talk about the latest and greatest news coming out of Hollywood every single week. That's super fun. I do that with my father-in-law, Dustin. And then, of course, you can follow me personally at JLoganAustin on all social media platforms. Until next time, guys. Peace!